Hello and welcome to the podcast that asks the question, what can the kids watch?
Disclosure Day.
From this year.
Yes, Steven Spielberg.
Yes. So people are saying this is Steven Spielberg's best film in 20 years.
I disagree.
Because you're a massive fan of...
Ready Player One.
And you know what I'm a really big fan of?
Go on then.
West Side Story. I think
Really?
I think his West Side Story is excellent. What happened was I went into work I was going to do a double bill, and I was going to do whatever the fourth Matrix is called. Matrix Resurrections? Anyway, that one. And my plan was watch that by myself, out of hours, and then watch West Side Story, because that was the first show of the day in one of the screens. And I was like, okay, I'll do that and that. And I hated Matrix 4 so fucking much. I actually like it a bit better now, but initial reaction, I fucking hated it.
Didn't we watch it recently?
Yeah, we watched all of them. And watching all of them together, it works better. But having not watched a Matrix film for ages, I hated it. So I was so angry by The Matrix and disappointing. Like, oh my God, that was so long and what a fucking waste of time. And I knew West Side Story was really long. And I was like, I don't want to fucking watch West Side Story. Why am I even thinking of coming to watch West Side Story? And then I thought, you know what? I'm here. It's Steven Spielberg. I do know quite a few songs from West Side Story. I think I'll be all right. I absolutely fucking loved it, and it put me in such a good mood, and I'm glad I stayed to watch West Side Story. So I'm always indebted to Steven Spielberg's West Side Story. So obviously we've talked about Steven Spielberg recently. We did the Night Gallery, which he had the second entry in that TV movie. I have mentioned on the podcast Sugarland Express, not for kids, and you've now seen Sugarland Express as well.
I have.
And you enjoyed it.
I did.
Yes.
Yes.
It's absolutely... It makes me feel like an arsehole to say, oh, that's my favourite Steven Spielberg film, as if like everything that came after it's not as good. But his standard is so incredibly high.
Yes.
And his work is incredible. Now, what I do not like is I don't like people trying to big up one thing by putting down a bunch of other things. So it's not fucking fair at all to say this is his best film in 20 years. Because Spielberg has made some fucking stunning films over the last 20 years. Do you know what else I really like that people don't really feel is worthy of him? I like The Terminal.
Oh, the Tom Hanks film.
Yeah, it's completely harmless, and it's enjoyable, and it's relaxed, and a lot of great performances, and it makes me feel nice watching it. And you know what? Maybe that's all you fucking need sometimes.
Yeah, because life is grim.
I remember when I first day of university, the head of the course slagging off The Terminal, because it had been like I think that would have been the most recent Spielberg film at the time. And I remember others sort of like snortingly agreeing with him, and I was like, oh.
Do you not think that's jealousy though?
Yeah, maybe. But I really like The Terminal. I think sometimes just a film can be nice. And I think The Terminal is really nice.
Yeah.
I also think Catch Me If You Can is fucking stupendous.
Is that Spielberg as well?
Yeah. Tom
didn't
Hanks
know
and DiCaprio. And Christopher
know that.
Walken. Yeah, that film's great. Anyway, Disclosure Day. So, I had already seen it, and it's quite long. It's over 2 hours. I really, 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 really fucking enjoyed it. A lot. And I was of two minds whether the kids could watch it. So part of this was I just wanted to go watch it again.
Okay, selfish reasons, which is fair enough.
And also I thought you should see it because I think it's a great film of the year. And you don't get to see a lot of new films of the year, do you?
No. I mean, I don't think it was helped that we watched Toy Story 5 before it.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah, we did. We went through
like
and
a
watched
double bill.
Yeah, watched Toy Story 5. So Toy Story 5 was definitely for them, and we're not doing an episode on Toy Story 5 because of course the fucking kids can watch Toy Story 5. But I will say Toy Story 5 really fucking good.
Very emotional.
Yeah, very emotional. A lot of people saying it's the worst Toy Story film. But
really?
Yeah.
Why is that?
Because what's happened is there's a bunch of cunts out there. And they just want to fill the internet with negative shit. because that's how they get clicks. And sadly, that's where we are. I like to think we're ultimately a very positive podcast about things.
Yeah, because we met making a film. We know the effort that goes into making a film.
Yeah.
It's
Which is not to say, obviously there are films I do not like, but
can appreciate the art form.
yeah, films are fucking hard. But I don't feel like we try to put episodes out there to
Be controversial.
to be controversial or to shit on something to try and get clicks on that basis. I like to think we're ultimately a much more positive influence on the internet.
Well, we're just trying to see films that the kids can watch.
Yeah, but I do say the word cunt a lot, obviously.
You do.
And people don't like that, I guess. So, is Disclosure Day for the children? It's a 12A. Emily Blunt says fuck twice, but one is very much under her breath.
I think, even though it's really hard to talk about
because we don't want to give anything away.
No.
But it's very wordy, and
I think
there's a lot
it's too
of
adulty for kids,
but-
and I think
but
some would
that's-
struggle to follow it.
But it's not adulty as in like
Sex and violence. Well,
I mean, there is some
there's
violence, but the kids loved all that.
Yeah.
But there's very, very good action scenes, but there's a lot of intrigue and talking, and on top of that, there's a lot of questions that go unanswered for a very, very long time in this film. In fact, weirdly, watching it a second time, it was brilliant to be like, oh, yeah, I was confused at that first time round until it got to this scene. And it's I heard everything they said properly second time round. I was like, oh, it's all there.
It
all
is a
the
good
clues.
film. Like, there's a bit where the guy's running around a fence and then the camera's like going round.
I'm so glad you brought that up. I don't know what rig they had to do that shot.
I was quite impressed by that.
Yeah.
But then I don't think the kids would be too impressed by that particular.
Yeah, they're not bothered
They're
by
not bothered.
that. But they liked...
They watched it.
They said they enjoyed it.
Yeah.
They said they liked it. I knew that by the end, there would be some stuff in it that would win them over if they hadn't been won over already. But they also... There is a little bit of an open ending, and...
The boy was like, where's part two?
Yeah, is there a part two? And it's like, well, it doesn't work like that. It's who knows what could happen next. Your imagination can take you. Yeah, we talked him round on it. But also, the way he was talking, I think he thought some of it was real.
Well, yeah, you
which I
probably
love.
have confused him.
Yeah, but I love that. I love that.
There was news.
Yeah, there's a lot of news footage that gives it
Yeah.
a reality. Can I say, and it's in the trailer, there's a bit in the trailer where Emily Blunt starts speaking alien while she's supposed to be doing a weather report. Mm-hmm. And she makes these very weird guttural sounds,
Clicky.
which I've seen her do. She has a microphone to her neck and starts making the noises to get all those sounds.
Apparently, she was determined that AI wasn't going to get used for
Yeah,
that.
I don't think AI was ever going to get used. I think Spielberg was just like, well, we'll just use AI. And she's like, no, fuck you, I'll do this. I think Emily Blunt deserves an Oscar.
Well, she did learn Russian and
Not
Korean.
just and Korean, but in that scene, I looked over at you,
Yeah.
and your face was priceless. You were absolutely invested in that moment.
Yeah.
You had a face of absolute fuck. What the fuck? What's this gonna be? So, and you know what? Doesn't matter to me if you just turned around and said, I didn't really like that film, because I'd just be like, yeah, but there was that one moment that absolutely fucking grabbed you.
It's not that I don't like it. It's just that
You prefer other Spielberg films.
there's that, and I feel it's maybe 20 years, maybe too late.
Oh, interesting.
Because you've got the internet, you've got conspiracy theories, you've got all this stuff out there now. So people aren't as shocked by certain revelations.
It's interesting that, because I also was thinking, oh, if this was real, folk could be debunking this absolutely instantly. Even if it's absolutely 100% the truth, people would absolutely just be like, nah. We never saw that element of it. So I agree. But I also think those people shouldn't be fucking given the fucking screen time, so... It's a fantasy in so much as those arseholes didn't exist in this movie.
Can I ask you something that might get cut out of this?
Yes.
Do you think aliens are real?
Oh, they must be.
See, I think there are definitely aliens. We can't be
Not-
alone, like, in this universe.
It won't be as films have depicted them, but
No.
there must be life somewhere else.
Yeah.
There has to be.
Oh,
Why not?
Yeah.
Why not? I don't think that's... If you thought that was maybe controversial, I don't think asking me that is controversial. I think it's entirely possible. Let's just quickly speak about the cast.
Did you know that one of them, Eve, what's her second name?
Eve Hewson.
She is the daughter of Bono from U2.
Shit the fucking bed.
Yes.
I did not know that.
I found that out earlier.
She's, I know her, she's Maid Marian in a really bad Robin Hood that had Taron Egerton in it. It's not good at all.
Okay.
But I know her from that. Emily Blunt,
Yeah.
like I say, I personally think she deserves an Oscar, or at least recognition. Josh O'Connor, I think, is excellent. He's very recently... He was in the Knives Out sequel, Wake Up Dead Man, and also he's in a film called La Chimera, which I haven't watched yet, but I fully intend to. I wasn't bothered, but we had it at work, and the music on the end credits was so good. As soon as it was available, I just went out and bought it because I'd missed all my opportunities to watch it at work.
You fool.
Yeah, I know, but I haven't watched it yet, but I'm keen. Colin Firth. I saw someone yesterday, I think, say Colin Firth was fun, but completely miscast. I disagree. I thought he was fucking excellent. There's a scene where he's basically interrogating someone, and I thought it was powerful. But I thought he was mesmerising.
He was good.
Oh, and there's the good thing where the eyes keep changing.
Yeah.
That was cool. I liked all that. Coleman Domingo is in it. Coleman Domingo's a very interesting actor. He's excellent, but is properly in some shit films. And I'm glad he's in this because he's better than some of the things he's been in recently. Wyatt Russell was in it. That's Kurt Russell's son. He's not in it a lot, but he's a good grounded presence when he is in the film.
Because I was like, I know him from somewhere.
Yeah, you'll know. Well, he was the Captain America replacement that didn't go well, and then he became more like a villain or a vigilante. And then Henry Lloyd Hughes is Colin Firth's henchman, and people will know him, hopefully, as Donovan from The In-Betweeners, the bully, and he's a piece of shit in this as well. He's fucking good. He's threatening. Like, I wouldn't fuck with him, but I also wouldn't fuck with him when he was Donovan either.
No.
Donovan's a psychopath. It's written by David Koepp. Just to be very, very clear, because there's always confusion over how that man's surname is pronounced, because it's spelt...
Is a quip.
It's Koepp, but I have heard Spielberg talk about him many times, and he's always said David Koepp.
Okay.
So I'm going with Spielberg because they've worked a fair bit. He wrote the screenplay for Jurassic Park, amongst many other things. So yeah, David Koepp. If you're ever wondering how that's pronounced, it's Koepp. One of those confusing surnames. I don't know what its origin is. Okay. Is it for kids? Older kids, maybe.
Younger kids, I think, will be bored.
Yeah. I think the boy... It was a bit of a tightrope walk for him, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to say, but I can honestly say I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yeah,
Even
it was a
more
good
second
film.
time round.
But I don't think it's for kids.
No, all right, fair enough. Older kids, though.
Older kids, yeah.
I think I would have humoured that as like a 10, 11, 12-year-old. I'd have gone
around
for that.
about that age, we had the X-Files.
Yes. Oh, yeah, good point. Yeah.
So...
Yeah. And I will say, the reason I thought the kids would be all right with this is because they've watched Outer Limits episodes. Firstly, Outer Limits tends to be more alien-related, and they're very wordy. usually 50 minutes of just old-timey black and white men with big glasses, like just talking science that has either now been disproved or is just some bullshit. And the kids happily sit and watch those, and do often. I'd say, like, what do you want to watch? Do you want to watch Outer Limits? And I'm like, yeah, Outer Limits, and they come through, because Outer Limits and Twilight Zones are shorter, but Outer Limits is longer, so they are a little bit more of a slog, or they can be if there's a bad one. But they love those, and I thought, they'd be all right with this, and I think they were. They did say they enjoyed it, but once again, the problem with this podcast is our kids aren't like other kids.
No.
So therein lies where it all falls apart. Yes, I think maybe you wouldn't want to go lower than sort of for a normal child, maybe
10,
11, 12, depending on what they're like. If they can handle wordy stuff, then they're fine. But that is always the question, is it? Mm-hmm. And then there's loads of little references in it that they'd never get. In fact, there's a reference that I found most people have not gotten, but it's not a spoiler to say there is footage in the film. They're watching footage of government footage of Richard Nixon showing off dead aliens to a 1950s TV comedian. And the moment I fucking saw him and they said 1950s comedian, I was like, that's Jackie Gleason. That's fucking meant to be Jackie Gleason. Richard Nixon has invited Jackie Gleason to show off these aliens. And for those who don't know, Jackie Gleason was the star of a sitcom in the 50s called The Honeymooners. And then later on, he's the Smokey in Smokey and the Bandit.
Oh, really?
And the date given is 73. So I was watching it going, oh my God, that means Jackie Gleason was making Smokey and the Bandit and he knew that aliens existed. He's working with Burt Reynolds and he's having to keep that fucking secret. That's insane.
I love your brain sometimes.
But it definitely is meant to be him, because I've checked the credits and someone is credited as Jackie Gleason. So for fans of Jackie Gleason, someone plays him in this weird cameo. It is plot relevant, though, that happens, because that's why the agency takes away all the control from the presidents. And after Nixon, no president is actually aware of any alien stuff, because they're like, we do not need to let these fuckwits know this.
No.
So, for example, Bill Clinton, Obama, they wouldn't have been given this information. Nothing to do with can the kids watch it. Just for me personally, I thought it was exceptional. I thought it was an exceptional piece of cinema. And as usual, Spielberg delivers the goods that in another person's hands would actually be quite drab. Mm-hmm. But he knows what a fucking camera should do.
He does.
He knows what lights should do. And he absolutely makes even a little possibly boring sequence is always fucking interesting in Steven Spielberg's hands. And I don't say it enough, but he absolutely is. It's just a cliche, isn't it? For people, oh, Spielberg, everyone knows Spielberg, he's the greatest filmmaker ever. But you know what? There's a reason people fucking say he's the greatest filmmaker ever, because he fucking is.
Yeah, but then people want to say that he isn't, just to cause controversy, don't they?
Well, maybe, but him being amazing also doesn't prevent other directors from being amazing.
No.
But he's just a fucking craftsman, and he knows what something should look like. And I, like I say, I think in a lesser hands, I think Disclosure Day would have been quite dull.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Lovely. Good. We'll speak to you next week.
Bye.
Bye.